Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from PaulGaleNetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is December 28th, 2020, and these are the top stories of the day. To kick things off, we have some new photos from Super Nintendo World coming out of Japan. Here we have Luigi and Mario, which are looking great. And we've seen these two before in the Nintendo Direct with Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto, but I also have a couple of other pictures, including Toad. He's looking pretty chunky. Nice. I like this Toad costume. And I think it looks pretty solid, pretty nice. And of course, Princess Peach, also looking really good. I think it'll be really fun to walk around the park and see, Princess Peach and Toad, whom we don't see too often when it comes to E3s and stuff like that, whereas Mario and Luigi we see, almost at every single show. So that'll be fun, and it will also be interesting to see, are there any other Nintendo characters that are walking around the park beyond these four? Moving along, we have some exciting news from Sony today, and that is that they are working on 3 movies and 7 TV shows based off of various PlayStation properties. We know that Tom Holland here is going to be in one Uncharted movie. Here he is, Nathan Drake, looking good on the younger side, but if this movie does well, like I said before in previous episodes of Video Game News with PGN, he will grow into the character and they will be able to have potentially a long-lasting movie franchise, maybe have 4 films with Tom as Nathan growing into the role. We'll see. But what else could they be cooking up? That remains to be seen, but 10 projects in total is quite a bit. Could we see some CG movies or CG TV shows? I don't think all of these are necessarily going to be live action. I could see Sony teaming up with Netflix and doing, a Ratchet and Clank couple season long, or maybe it's even just a 1 season long Netflix, CG show. That would be pretty neat. Coming out around the same time as Insomniac Games' next Ratchet and Clank game. I could picture that happening. That's just, a thought of mine, but it could work. The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. There are quite a few properties right now. Even if they go back in and do some Jak and Daxter or some Sly Cooper, that's another one that would work well as a CG, cartoon show on Netflix or, some type of streaming service like that. As for live action movies, I think a God of War film would be really neat. That might be what I would look forward to most out of any of the films that they have based off of properties that were going to go in a live action direction, would probably be God of War. But I'm just a big fan of that franchise, and I think it would look well in that kind of setting. We'll see, though. I will keep you posted if anything develops. Moving along, this is literally a news presentation piece courtesy of CBS. They caught story of a family that did something pretty unique over Christmas in their front yard that was Nintendo related. I saw the story, so I'm just going to share it right here. Not your typical video game news. Of course, we have an advertisement
Even the gods need a
for
hero.
Immortals Phoenix Rising. Good game, but we're going to skip that commercial. Here we go.
In Dallas gave their typical Christmas decorations the boot this year, and you wouldn't believe what they replaced it with. Our Nicole Nielsen has the story, only on CBS 11.
In a quiet neighborhood in Lower Greenville, filled with manger scenes and Santas, sits an oversized display. With a letter that clearly states, "Dear Santa, I want a Super Mario 3 for Christmas." And boy, did this family build one.
We tried to get it to scale. I think the Nintendo's a little bigger than it should be.
Katie Milam and her husband Mike, a Dallas
Pretty cool, right?
firefighter, needed a creative outlet this year.
This year has been a crazy year for us as a family. For one, I have my husband is a first responder, so having somebody that was in a stressful position all year, it was emotionally rough, and so this provided,
Like I said,
a
I was
fun,
browsing the
artistic
internet.
outlet,
I see different
art
articles,
therapy,
different images, different
take your
pieces
mind
of
off
artwork, different
the
cool
craziness
videos
outside
like
doors.
this.
So instead of their normal
Sometimes they're on
decorations, we
somebody's
thought,
blog or on Twitter or Instagram. Sometimes it's a video that a news station picked up.
My husband and my son
In this
love
case,
the Nintendo.
CBS
This was,
picked it up,
you know,
and I thought I
different
would
year,
share
so we wanted
it.
to go with a different kind of decoration.
They spent about a month putting together the giant Nintendo game and configuring new routines, since it covers the entire front of their home.
Yeah, we had to put the mailbox because they couldn't deliver the mail.
They aren't artists, but say they were inspired by a recent Halloween porch decoration contest they did for their son's school.
And we won first prize at school, and we were like,
Clearly some
oh, we're pretty
passionate
good at this.
Nintendo
Now,
fans
they love the idea of going all out for the
of
holidays
that late
and having
80s, early
something
90s
to look
era.
forward to.
My husband has already been planning next year, yes. He's already, like, drawn up those ideas, like, can you paint this?
In Dallas, Nicole Nielsen, CBS 11 News.
Well, a couple of Nintendo.
So that's pretty neat. I like when people do this kind of thing. You know, I did my own, Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary celebration this year by gutting my pool, draining it of water, having it replastered, individually putting up a tile mosaic for Mario 8-bit style, Starman Superstar 8-bit style next to him, Mario jumping for the superstar, and that turned out cool. And of course, here you have a family in Texas, created this giant NES console and a letter to Santa Claus, Super Mario Brothers 3, 1989, Dear Santa, wish list. And yeah, pretty awesome. I like seeing creative stuff like that I would share it. Next up in gaming news, if you're interested, these items will go fast, so check it out. Nintendo has a new look at, new t-shirts, I should say, on their website. So if you go to store.nintendo.com, you'll see, in addition to this Animal Crossing tee, they've got a Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary logo tee, logo tees for Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, Super Mario World, 3, Super Mario 64. Of course, you also have Splatoon 2, upcoming Splatfest shirts, Superstar versus the Mega Mushroom, but yeah, and you could keep going and you could see the older stuff as well, which is all nice. But in particular, I wanted to show off these Mario ones because, except for the 35th anniversary standard shirt, these ones that are based off of the games themselves come in an original box to replicate, an NES, Super NES, or N64 cartridge box. I think that's pretty cool. I personally got the Super Mario 35th anniversary logo tee and the Super Mario 64 tee. I'm tempted to buy just the other, few as well, just get 4 more, but for now I think I'm good with 2. It's hard to pick a favorite Mario game in general, but one of the most impactful games of all time for me was Super Mario 64. The game also is one of my favorite Marios, if not my overall favorite. Like I said, Mario games and me picking my favorite is kind of difficult, but this was one of the most important games ever made and was the first next-gen game of its kind, really, to bring 3D gaming to the masses and show what you could do with 3D camera angles and whatnot, and just showed that these beloved franchises of yesteryear that have been around for a decade plus can exist in a new era, and this is how you do them, and this is how you reimagine those worlds. And it was just a wonderful experience. So a lot of fond memories with that one. But like I said, a lot of fond memories with these other ones as well. I was gaming since the mid 80s, so I could pick any one of them as favorites for different reasons. But yeah, I went with the Super Mario 64 shirt and the 35th anniversary logo tee. So if you're interested, come here, check it out, because they probably won't last long. And let me know which one you get if you do get one. And finally, we have some interesting news today, and that's regarding Kanye West. Obviously, that's why I have a picture of him here. And this was uncovered in a recent podcast in which Mr. Reggie Fils-Aimé, former Nintendo of America president, said that Kanye West, several years ago, at the end of an E3, approached Nintendo, along with his wife, Kim Kardashian, regarding partnering up to create a game together. Kanye had an idea of a game, was pitching it to Nintendo, wanting to work with them. Reggie says in the interview that Nintendo had a lot of different projects going on. They realistically couldn't come up with anything else, didn't know if it would be a good fit, wanted to find a way how to kindly turn him down, kindly, not in a negative, derogative way or anything like that, but just saying that, don't know if we would be the best partner because, we're tough, we push hard, we want the very best content. And, Kanye responded to Reggie's comment of that, saying, that's exactly why I want, you as a partner, because, I know you'll get the job done and you'll make this the best possible. And Reggie's like, geez, that's tough to then say, no to again, because some people don't respond well to criticism. But at least from the little bit of the interview that we got, it sounded like, Kanye, no, he was on board with that type of criticism, which is admirable, because, if you want your game to be really solid, you have to be willing to take that crunch. You have to be willing to take that heat from somebody who has excelled in gaming for so long, like Nintendo. So that thing didn't end up turning out between Nintendo and Kanye West, but it would have been interesting to see what could have ended up coming. Probably in another world, if there are other dimensions and stuff like that, one thing went this way or that way, and out there on some other Earth, there's a Kanye West Nintendo game. Maybe. But yeah, kind of an exciting partnership. You never know what's going on behind the scenes in the video game world, who's talking with who, what projects were close to happening, which ones were pitches, which ones got into the development cycle and fell apart. I'm sure there's plenty of awesome stories just like this one that have yet to be told in the world of video games across all companies. But we'll see when they get uncovered, and when they do, if they're exciting, I'll talk about them here. That's going to do today for video game news. The year is almost done. We've just got a couple of days left. We'll see if there's anything big and exciting to talk about before it's all wrapped up and we move into 2021. I want to thank you. I still plan to have a couple more VGN episodes before the year's up, but I wanted to take this time to say thank you anyways for watching, being a part of my YouTube channel, commenting, subscribing, liking the videos. I appreciate it. We've had some good discussions. We've had some cool live streams. This seems like a farewell to 2020. Like I said, it's not exactly, because I'll be here a couple more times. We still have a few days left, but just in case, I want to say thank you. And as always, I appreciate it. So hope you all have a good one. Let me know what you thought about today's topics. What would you look forward to from a Sony project, whether it's a TV show or movie, CG or live action? And yeah, that's going to do it for today. Hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.